Welcome back, friends. Now in this lesson, your students are going to start working on subtraction. We're going to be decomposing to subtract. If you are in Florida, this is what your standard looks like. We're still working on that same standard math, grade 3, number sense and operations, standard 2. We're now subtracting multi-digit whole numbers. We are building an understanding of multiplication and division because we can think of multiplication as repeated addition. We can think of division as repeated subtraction. So that's how we're building that understanding. The benchmark 2.1, we are subtracting multi-digit whole numbers, including the algorithm. We will get there in the next lesson. So for this lesson, we're looking at decomposing to subtract. So we have a problem here where we have Marley and Stephen who are subtracting 425 minus 178, and they decompose it a different way. Will they find the same differences? Now, if you want to look at a more thorough explanation of this, you can always check out the student version. So you can see here how we looked at Marley's way was by place value here, 170 and 8. So we subtracted each one of those. Now this way, when we got to this line, we had to think about maybe using a number line to think about what 325 minus 70 was. And then a number line to think about what 255 minus 8 was. Where if we use Stephen's way, Stephen carefully picked 125 because that gave us a nice friendly number of 300. Then we were just able to take 300 minus 50 to get 250, 250 minus 3 to get 247. So a fantastic discussion here with your students about looking at these, which one was most efficient. In this case, it definitely looked like this method was a more efficient method. So the goal is for students to discover the most efficient method of decomposition. Now, when I'm looking at one like this, place value, decomposing by place value makes sense because if I look at all of these numbers and the second number, they're all smaller than the first number. So it would make sense to have 472 minus 100 would be 372, minus 50 would be 322, and then minus, and that's it, 322 for that one. Now, in this one, place value probably would be a little bit more difficult. So we might want to think about, well, how can I do this? Should I start by taking away 8? So a great tool for this is your base 10 blocks. Okay, one of the strongest research-based strategies is that concrete representational abstract, which says you start with the concrete model. And so base 10 blocks would do that. I model 228. Representational would be maybe we're drawing pictures of it. The abstract is this when we're just using the numbers. So if you have students who are struggling, that would be a great tool. We could build 228. So we have 200, we have 20, and then we have, there's 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we've built 228. We're going to take away 139. So we go, all right, well, we take away 8. It's gone. But I still need to take away 9. I need to take away one more. How can I do that? Well, we're going to need to trade out one of our 10s, right? So if we trade out one of our 10s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we trade one of those out. Now we can take away the one more. All right, so now we've taken away 9. Okay, next we need to take away 3 10s. Can you see how this is going to relate to what we call borrowing, which we're going to call regrouping? All right, I only have 1 10 to take away. So I'm going to swap out one of my hundreds for 10 10s. 1, 2, 3. So I dropped it. And I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and take away 1 10. I swapped out the 100. Now I need to take away 2 more. So we swapped it out. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So there's my 10 10s that I swapped out. So I need to take away 2 more. I took away 1. I took away 2 more for a total of 30. And then we take away 100. So I take away the 100 flat. What are we left with? We are left with 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. and we are left with 89, 9 ones. Okay, so now what you can do is make the connection from the concrete representation to the concrete model to the abstract, because we can say, all right, what did we do? All right, we started with 228. We started by taking away the 8 ones. Now, I can't do all this at one time, but I would probably have this written on the whiteboard smartboard, and as we're working with the base 10 block, show this. All right, we took away 8 ones. That got us to 220. All right, what did we do next? Well, then we took away another one. That got us to 219. And okay, so what did we do next? Well, next, remember we had the 110. So we took away 10, 219 minus 10, and that gave us 209. And then we had to take away 20 more. So we had 219. 209, sorry, minus 20 more. That's when we swapped out. Okay, so that gave us 189. And then what did we do last? We took out the 100. We took away the 100. Now, imagine how much more meaningful, like I said, I can't show it all at once, but picture having this written and showing this decomposition as you're moving around with your base 10 blocks. Okay, I know some of you may be thinking, wow, that's a lot of work. There's much more efficient ways. Yes, there absolutely is. I'm only recommending to use those base 10 blocks, and again, take any of my recommendations. Just this is just me. This is just an educator, so nobody's saying this is the way. I'm only suggesting, that's a better word, suggesting that you consider using the base 10 blocks if you have students that are really struggling with decomposition, because if they can see the abstract side by side with the concrete model, sometimes that makes the connection. You'll see I have a link to open up resources. It's on the PDF. I'll also put it in the description and on the webpage down below. So let me show you what this is. Open up resources, free resource for anybody can get access to these. There's a great problem that I think would be a really good task to go along with this lesson. I know a lot of times we're looking for some really good, rich mathematical tasks that take that, have the higher cognitive demand and really help show that students have that conceptual understanding. So I found this one and I've put a link to it. You will have to make sure you have your, that you're logged in and you have access. It's free. Just use your email. And I just think this would be a really great task. What I might consider doing, see, notice they've got these base 10 blocks that are showing the subtraction, and then they're matching the expression that goes with the diagram. So this might be something good to use like the next day as your warm up or your bell ringer to get the kids started. So I really liked that problem. You'll find a link to it below. All right, friends, thanks so much for joining, and we'll see you in another lesson.